Welcome back to Minneapolis. This has been the least productive year of Randy Moss's brilliant career. Instead of being near the top in all of the NFL's receiving stats, he's not even in the top 10. Last week against the Giants was more like the numbers we have come to expect because the Vikings got the ball to Moss early and often. Susie Culber, any reason to believe they won't do it again?
Mike, no reason at all. Yesterday, Randy Moss stressed to us it's imperative that they get him the ball early, not just to get him into a rhythm, but to set the tone for the team. Last week, his first touch was a touchdown. Denny Green says that when Randy scores a touchdown, it's like a slam dunk in a big basketball game. It excites the team and the fans. Of course, one of those slam dunks last week cost Moss 10 grand in fines as he strutted and swirled backward into the end zone. Now, Green called the act terrible, but said as long as Moss says he won't do it again, he'll let it slide. Problem is, Randy, who's not much of a trash talker, said it's his way of expressing himself, and also added there's a good chance he could get another fine tonight. But Mike, there's probably a lot of Vikings who wouldn't mind helping him pay it. After all, since '98, the Vikings are 17-1 here at home when Moss scores a touchdown.
All right, thank you, Susie. The Chicago defense and free safety Mike Brown hope to shut down Randy Moss.
Chicago Bears.
Not a big guy, but boy, he's got range.
Got some guns on him, though, doesn't he? Bennett cuts it outside and cuts it back inside. Brown waiting for him at the 40-yard line. This team, the Bears, #1 against the rush.
Boy, there's something you won't see that.
Sooner or later, he has to get caught out of position every now and then.
Harold Morrow, number 33, is the single setback. Kleinsasser not playing tonight. The fullback with an injury. It's a big loss for the Vikings. And Culpepper wants to throw for it. And caught at the sideline. First down, Chris Carter. The throw fitted in perfectly between two defenders.
I'm going to tell you something. Two great things happened on this play. One was the coverage was absolutely sensational. Brown and Harris were both there, 27 and 30. Well, look for the catch. Chris Carter makes a catch between two people. That's keeping your eye on the ball. Look at that ball. It's tipped by Harris.
Goes right through his hands, and Byron Chamberlain, the tight end, was open easily for the first down. That
wants a flag and won't get one.
And the Vikings on the defensive side of the ball. Chris Hovan, number 99, what he needs to do is just disrupt the pocket. Don't let Miller stand in there or step up like he just did on that last play. Robert Griffin, he's back and he's going to be disguising plays. But most importantly, Dale Carter. Dale Carter is only in his second game after being out for 18 months. Second game as a starter. He cannot let the big play behind him.
Carter said he was really surprised by the speed of the game after being off for 18 months. Pressure on Miller. Dumps it to Allen, and Dale Carter just annihilated.
I'm going to tell you what, he may have been out for 18 months, and this may only be his second start. But Dale Carter has some perfect timing on this play. Allen comes out, that ball is hung out in the air, and watch number 21 close. Bang, bang. Great hit.
And Allen's going to go back to Jim Miller and say, don't do that again, please.
Please don't throw it over there.
Let's go to the sideline and Susie Culber.
Well, Mike, just on Michael Bennett, he told me before the game that maybe the injury was a blessing in disguise, provided a mental break. After all, if this was college, his season would already be over, and he did admit that he started to wear down a bit. It also gave him a chance to learn more patience, sit back and watch. I mean, a guy this fast, he just wants to run fast. But in the NFL, everybody's fast, so there is a time to run slow and then explode.
Susie, so many rookies say that once they get to the 10th, 11th week of the NFL season, it really becomes a grind. Third down for the Vikings. Blitz coming on Culpepper. Rolls away from pressure. Has it tipped in the air and intercepted, picked up by Roosevelt Colvin, the guy who tipped it, and then he tracked it down and picked it. Daniels may have been the guy who batted it in the air, and then Colvin got the pick.
Like they had a a blitz on the outside, and first of all, they missed on a blitz. And I think it was number 43, Mike Green, coming from the left-hand side. He misses. Look on your left-hand side of the screen. Here's the miss. Then you get Philip Daniel right there in his face, up in the air. The ball is tipped up in the air. That's just a beautiful defensive play. Colvin is the guy that makes the interception. Wow, that's good defense.
So they squandered tremendous field position and
another 5 yards.
with Thomas out, you had the luxury of Allen, who gained more than 1,100 yards last year. Loose ball, Vikings have it. Recovered by Stellan Callané. It was knocked away.
Chris Hovan makes an unbelievable play. Paul, you talked about him putting pressure up the middle in the pass game. But what Chris Hovan does here is he fires the gap so quickly, Jim Miller has no chance to make the handoff.
Chapman for about a yard.
Take a look at this turnover caused by Chris Hovan. That's Rex Tucker, the guard. There's Hovan. What's going to happen is Tucker's going to pull. Hovan's going to fire right through. He is there so quickly. Jim Miller doesn't stand a chance. Then he winds up hitting Shelton's elbow.
But the penetration was so great. Look at Damon Sheldon, number 31. Miller hits him in the arm with the ball, trying to get the ball back to Allen. He can't get it there.
That line has to gamble. They're so smart. Chris Carter on the phone upstairs trying to find something that will work for that Vikings offense. They have yet to put any points on the board and they're tied with Chicago. Nothing.
Joe, they have not thrown the ball to your boy Marty Booker yet.
Well, I mean, he is their deep threat.
Coming into this game.
Just makes you think of the old Bears.
Yes, it does.
I know I played against the old Bears, and they would hit you, and you really wouldn't pop up that quickly and run off the field if they hit you.
They get the secondary, Doug Blank could get you.
They'd intercept him too, wouldn't they?
Andrew Jordan is in as the second tight end. Culpepper to throw, wants a screen. And Urlacher had Doug Chapman in his sights from the get-go.
You know what opens this whole thing up for a guy like Urlacher to see it is when you see your defensive line putting the pressure on him and they're waiting at the line of scrimmage. Look at the middle of that line, just rush up, and here comes Urlacher. There's nobody out there to block him. They can't get out to block him, and he makes the play.
What a great way to stop a screen.
Yeah.
Don't let the lineman get out in front of him.
That's exactly what they did. Those big guys would not allow the offensive line to get outside. They have no chance.
This guy is the fastest middle linebacker you may ever see in your life. He can fly. And it was a loss all the way back to the 38-yard line. Culpepper. Carter can't bring it in.
You know who was in coverage? Urlacher.
Ball just thrown a little bit too far out in front for Chris to be able to make a play on it. Again, an opportunity by the Minnesota Vikings offense squandered. Ball comes out just a hair too far.
Johnson to the 33. 23-yard return. Let's go to the sideline and Susie.
Well, Mike, Randy Moss explained to us the team's slow start. We know this is week 11, but really they're just getting in gear. They missed a lot of invaluable time in training camp. Only 2 days in pads before their first preseason game. No inter-squad scrimmages with a team like the Saints. Now, Corey Stringer's death took a lot of football out of the mix, and they had to live off what they did in minicamp in April and May. They just couldn't prepare for certain coverages. Only one win in their first 4 games. They're still trying to make up for lost time.
Playing catch-up in this league isn't easy.
Monday Night Countdown presented by UPS, 7:30 Monday on ESPN.
Back at the Dome in Minnesota, where the Bears are leading the Vikings 7-0, 9:43 to go first half. Chris Carter and company have not found a way to penetrate the goal line and get on the scoreboard, and Randy Moss has been virtually invisible in the first half.
Even just be a passer. We can control their wide receivers, and they've done a good job tonight.
Culpepper has thrown for 64 yards in the first half. Now he scrambles. Upended, he got to the 34-yard line.
There you go, Joe.
And got the first down.
See, now he's in this game. He comes up firing. Now he's all pumped up. Now Dante Culpepper has arrived. There's 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, and now I think he's in this game totally. He's got to run early. There he is breaking free. Now watch him put his head down. You're not going to forget about a slide. Mike Green, 188 pounds. Dante Culpepper, 270. I like.
Believe was how sore he was after the first game. Said he could barely get out of bed. Miller for White, and Tate broke it up.
Joe, this is one of those passes. Either you throw it long or you throw it really short. And this one was thrown on the money.
Well, it winds up being a little bit short. Des White does a nice job. I think you win the deep routes at the line of scrimmage. He's a big, powerful guy. And Robert Tate does a real good job of getting that hand up there and making the play. Ball was thrown just a little bit short.
Stats and live radio coverage. NFL.com.
A defensive battle in the Twin Cities. The Bears on top of the Vikings 7-0. And Minnesota, which had such great field position early in the game, now has to start from the 11 on 3rd and goal. Colvin put pressure on Culpepper, and he just throws this one away. Are booing, and the Vikings will leave the field down 10-0 to the Bears, who are trying to go 8-2. Let's go to the sideline. Susie with Dennis Green.
Denny, your offense, 6 punts in 7 drives. How are they shutting down the explosiveness?
I think we're just making too many mistakes. We've had too many penalties, a couple turnovers. That's made the difference. I think we just have not gotten to a rhythm offensively. Hopefully we will. Defensively played okay. Special teams, not quite there.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, Susie, our score here in Minneapolis at the half. The Bears 10-0 over the Vikings. Now let's join Chris Berman for the Toyota Halftime Show.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. So we will see if Denny Green is the new age Rasputin like Wayne Fonts used to be, but his team has got to do some scoring against the continue to be surprising Chicago Bears.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Mick Tingelhoff's number 53, officially retired tonight. He is the 5th man to be so honored in Vikings history. Played in 240 straight games. That's 2nd in the NFL all time. He and Fran Tarkenton participated in the ceremonies. Jim Marshall, Alan Page, Tarkenton, and the late Corey Stringer, the others to have their jersey numbers retired. Tingelhoff was brilliant for 17 years as a center. He'll be with us in a second on the sideline with Susie. Culpepper comes out throwing to Morrow, and Morrow wrapped up by Holdman. Let's go down to the sideline with Susie.
And Mick, so few players have their names and numbers up there. What does it mean, especially for an offensive lineman? You're rarely singled out.
Oh, it's a great honor, and I just can't be thank Red McCombs and the Viking organization enough to, for doing it for me. It's really a great honor.
Congratulations. More in just a moment.
Thank you very much.
Culpepper in the flat to Jordan, and he is banged immediately by Walt Harris. Back to Susie.
And Mike, the man who was his roommate, who just happened to have quarterbacked the Vikings as well, Fran Tarkenton, being here tonight, watching a quarterback like Dante Culpepper, you were the original scrambling quarterback. What could you have done with that size?
I don't know, but I'd like to have tried it. Isn't he terrific? Not only is he a big guy, but he's a wonderful player. He's a playmaker, and he's having a struggle this year with not the running game that he's used to having, but he's doing well.
Gentlemen, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Susie. Prentice is in. The rookie out of Miami of Ohio. The ball is brought to you by Campbell's Chunky Soup that eats like a meal, by Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers. By Nike and by Visa. It's everywhere you want to be. That is the Mall of America the largest mall in the United States, and the last place any of us would have wanted to be on Friday when the sales started.
Or have our wives wander there.
Oh, heaven forbid.
That's the other thing.
Go, baby.
They get you ready for the Buccaneers and the Rams. Monday Night Countdown presented by UPS, 7:30 Monday on ESPN.
Of all people to be a non-factor in the Vikings offense, it's Randy Moss. Chris Carter has had very little impact as well. It has been nothing but a short passing game for Minnesota. First down near the 45. Culpepper leads this team in rushing, had 373 yards coming in, gaining ground rapidly on Fran Tarkenton's club record of 470.
Well, that's what he said to us. I have to make a big play on running the ball. I have to make a big play passing the ball. And that was a big play.
Well, Monday against the Giants, he really took over the game in the fourth quarter. And I think the way he has to do it, as you mentioned, Paul, is he's got to be able to run the football. That's as much a part of him as throwing the ball down the field.
The last drive, the Vikings got a field goal to get on the board. Now Culpepper hit and decked back at the 42-yard line. Minneapolis, the largest city in the state of Minnesota.
I'll tell you what's got to be a little discouraging for Minnesota is they fought like crazy for 3 quarters to get 3 points. Well, and then the Bears go right back down and get the 3 back.
What's more discouraging is they have not been able to take it.
And Jaquette to the 34. Catch you up to date on this ball game. Who has done what with our game track? James Allen, 19 carries, 80 yards, better than 4 a shot. The Bears defense has held the Vikings to only 210 yards in this ball game. Moss and Carter hardly factors at all. 8 catches, only 64 yards, and a lone field goal for the Viking offense.
Last week they had 10 each.
Culpepper woefully short to Chamberlain.
I'm telling you, he's having trouble with that football. He's licking his lips a little bit. That ball is just, it's slick and it's slipping out, and he's not having an opportunity to hold on to it and throw it the way he wants to.
The new footballs come with a shine on them. They